The mission of North American Western Dressage is to encourage the progressive athletic development of the Western performance horse through systematic education as provided by the classical training pyramid, to increase awareness of dressage principles for the improvement of Western horses of all breeds, to develop Western dressage as a competitive equestrian art, and to protect the horse from the abuses that preclude his ability to perform with dignity. The result of Western dressage training is a horse that is attentive, intelligent, displaying nobility in his carriage, with movements that are rhythmic, supple, and elastic, willingly guided in perfect harmony with its rider and with the brilliance that he naturally displays when free. In 400 BC, Xenophon wrote the first of many books on the subject, much of which still applies today. Friezes from the Parthenon display a high level of horsemanship, as the horse was their prime method of transportation and their greatest asset on the battlefield. But it wasn't until the Renaissance era that classical horsemanship was reborn. In Europe, a cultural movement began that caused a rebirth of the ancient Greek philosophies on the training of horses into the classical world. Meanwhile, the Spanish colonized the Americas, bringing horses and cattle with them, splitting the equestrian world in two. The Spanish horsemen, or vaqueros, developed a new style of horsemanship out of necessity, adapted to moving and working cattle quickly and effectively. The horses were quick, responsive, light, and brave, and gave the vaqueros the reputation of being master horsemen. The vaqueros branched up through Texas and California, bringing their traditions and way of training horses with them, sharing them to the American Indians and settlers. As the use for horses for battle and transport faded almost entirely, the American cowboy gave way to industry and progress. Dressage was just beginning to emerge around the world as a competitive sport, and as the new age of Western horses came to be, the vaquero traditions were slowly lost to history. As dressage grew in popularity, small groups of riders came together that had dressage backgrounds, but primarily rode Western, and had no interest in chasing cows, racing around barrels, or crawling down the rail of a pleasure class. It wasn't long before someone finally coined the phrase, Western dressage.